Oh, never fear, for your boy is here. A Friday night Smackdown has just occurred and has come upon us, and I'm doing my best to tell you what happened on this show. We get furthering in the storyline between the Bloodline and a nice little mini banger on this show to wrap things up. My name is Jordan Moser, and this is your Smackdown recap and review. Only bit of news I did want to run through tonight. It has been rumored that some people think that WWE is firing certain people, but then wanting to hire them back at a lower and discounted kind of like rate in terms of their contract value to try to like cut costs back, which is not unsound business practice, but kind of weird at the same time, I would say. We've heard it rumored over the past couple of days that that is probably the case for Aleister Black and guys like Samoa Joe as well, who WWE officials do want to return to the fold in WWE and or NXT, just probably at a more discounted rate, of course, but still want them back in the company, of course. Yeah, very interesting kind of development with that. We haven't heard a lot from Samoa Joe since he had been released a couple months ago, and this is kind of the first time we've heard his name in a little bit here, so that's definitely interesting that the first time we kind of hear of it is him likely coming back to the WWE, or maybe in that aspect. We hear Aleister Black, he's rumored as well, but we also hear rumors that he's more so kind of signing with AEW later on in the summer once his 90-day contract clause is up for not competing. So we'll definitely see how those kind of develop, but those are the two names that have kind of come out as of now, with WWE officials wanting them back in the fold in some capacity. We see the main crux of this episode of SmackDown is just a continued storyline of the brother line, Jimmy Uso, since coming back from injury, just getting back into the fold. And we see him kick off the show, and he just talks about how him and Jay pretty much had them tag team titles, one last week, but got screwed over twice, once by the ref, and then once by the head of the table, Roman Reigns. And he's just upset, he's pissed off, he believes Roman is jealous of him for what he's trying to come in to do and get his brother back and represent the family too, which is not bad, of course. He says he's gonna do something that he won't regret later on in the show. I don't really remember what that was. He didn't really do anything that he didn't regret. But we see just times of just the conversations in the backstage area between all three men, for the most part, Jimmy, Jay, and Roman, just building up this animosity. It all comes to a head in the Jay and Jimmy locker room, supposedly, and they just all stand there and they're fighting and all that. Jimmy and Roman are arguing with each other. Jay walks out because he's tired of the entire thing going on, and Roman just brings Jimmy down to earth a little bit, really talks from a place of vulnerability, but also of manipulation at the same time. You can really tell it by that in his voice, but it was done so perfectly well. Like, it really made you feel that he was very emotionally just distressed by everything that was going on. It's probably the best acting I've seen on WWE programming in a long time. You really felt the emotion in his words and kind of made Jimmy kind of eat what he was saying and go back and apologize to his brother, which I guess we'll get the further development of that next week. And Roman is pretty much proud of his handiwork until the main event segment of the show. Rey Mysterio coming out to fight for his son Dominic, and he comes out and he challenges Roman Reigns to a match inside Hell in a Cell, because of course, it's the pay-per-view. We got to have a Hell in a Cell match, of course. But he challenges to this match and then just starts wailing on him with the kendo stick, just going off. Dominic eventually comes out, starts wailing with the kendo stick as well, just trying to get involved, but he is eventually destroyed and powerbombed to the floor below from the ring. That's about a good like 8 feet, ladies and gentlemen. He just got thrown down there, and he's just laying down, and him and Ray are just trying to recover as Roman stands tall to kind of end the episode off. But yeah, definitely the continuation in the Bloodline story. Definitely everything that I expected it to be. It really reached its emotional peak on this episode, I would think. Roman Reigns just really bringing Jimmy down to earth for everything that's been going on. And now I think from here we kind of see them all three eventually just like start to come together. Now it's just like us against the world, like it's family against the world at this point. And that's when I think Ray and Dominic are going to come back into the picture with those tag team titles. Jay and Jimmy, they gonna eventually usurp them boys and get them titles back. But for now, this was a perfect way to to kind of build the tension on this show and just raise it to that peak, especially with Roman and Rey coming inside Hell in a Cell as well. That's definitely going to be an awesome kind of placeholder feud as well. But yeah, on this show, this main crux, like this is pretty amazing stuff, I would say. On the show, we also had a very solid tag team match. Kevin Owens and the returning Big E facing off against the Intercontinental Champion Apollo Crews and Sami Zayn with Commander Aziz on the outside. Very solid action. Nice to see Big E back in action, just as high-powered and high energy as ever. But I think Apollo Crews really stood out in this matchup, just flying around the ring. He had a nice also just arm-trapped German suplex on the big boy Big E, which is very just showing off the strength of our Intercontinental Champion. We see later on Kevin Owens, he tags into the match and just goes to work, just moving around the ring like I haven't seen him do in a long time, frankly, so it was very fun to watch. He eventually got the win with a kick to the gut and a stunner on Sami Zayn for the 1, 2, 3 and the victory. We see as him and Big E are just going up the ramp and celebrating. Commander Aziz and Apollo are not happy. They're just like, no. Kevin Owens, you want to run this back? I got you. We're going to run this back. Tag team action next week. Kevin Owens and Big E once again against Apollo and Commander Aziz, the big boy, 7'3", 350, 100 pounds. You already know what it is. He will be debuting in his first real matchup in a WWE ring next week, so that'll be interesting to very much so see. I definitely been looking forward to see him get in the ring, the former Dominicate. We see what he did in not Lucha Underground, wow, Raw Underground. So it'll be very interesting to see how he's kind of come along since then and kind of developed his moveset and things like that, of course. Yeah, very much looking forward to next week, but they definitely need some new blood kind of in the intercontinental scene, I would think. But yeah, very solid tag team match nonetheless, of course. We saw Carmella and Liv Morgan face off once again. Carmella now being branded as the most beautiful woman in WWE. Okay, cool. Not saying that she's not. I'm just saying what a weird way to go about it. But this was pretty much rinse and repeat from the match from last week, except for the ending, which saw Liv Morgan pull out a whole nice new move called the Oblivion, just a rope-assisted flatliner for the 1, 2, 3 and the win. Oh my goodness, Liv Morgan, go off, girl. I've been waiting for her to break out most definitely. She can definitely go in the ring. So this was an awesome way to just kind of show what she can do, even in a shorter matchup. It didn't really mean anything, but her getting the win over Carmella very cleanly, I might add, with that nice little move. Very nice way to kind of kick off that run for Liv Morgan. So I'm looking forward to her doing more stuff in the future, of course. But yeah, as a match though, it existed. It was what it was, basically. We did have the Ding Dong Hello show of Bayley just coming out and pontificating and just being funny as she usually does. Her guest being Seth Rollins is really the combination of the two most just interesting heels that they have in Smackdown and on WWE in general. So just seeing their combination was honestly very funny. They laughed at some of the clips that have happened in the past couple of weeks with their respective rivals, Cesaro and Bianca Belair. Pretty much were laughing at one point, just wasting up like a minute of time, just laughing pretty much. They kind of got a little tired there, but it came back in a big way. We see Cesaro make his return to the Thunderdome. He just ding dongs on the door and he comes through and he just destroys Seth Rollins. He takes off his pants and just rips them off, and we see his skinnies, and it was weird, I would say, very weird, but definitely good to see Cesaro back, of course, and Bayley just running around wondering what's happening. They destroyed her set and everything, and then our SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair makes her appearance. She doesn't do anything. She just laughs, you know, as Bayley has been doing these past couple of weeks, and just laughs and laughs and laughs. I don't like that this feud is just about laughing. I really don't. Like, please make it something more interesting, I would say. But definitely good that both respective rivals did make their appearance, and definitely furthers the feud, hopefully to an end at Hell in a Cell for Seth Rollins and Cesaro, as well as Bianca Belair and Bayley. So hopefully those two feuds are coming to an end. But as of this moment, for this show, it was pretty just substandard stuff, I would say. But good return for Cesaro, absolutely. Baron Corbin and Shinsuke Nakamura fought again. Shin won in 2 minutes and 37 seconds or whatever it was, and he kept the crown. That was it. I got nothing else. Last up, we do have a nice mini banger, Chad Gable and Montez Ford leaving it out there for a good 8 to 10 minutes. Very nice technical work and just high-paced action from those two, but it didn't last long. It wasn't really fleshed out because Otis, just making his return, just comes through and destroys Angelo Dawkins backstage, who was watching on the monitor because of course he was, and then he comes out to the ring and misses his cue, but it should have caused a disqualification victory for Montez Ford, but he destroys Ford after the match, just hits him with a splash from the top. And then Angelo Dawkins comes out to protect him, and he's destroyed as well, pretty much. And Otis stands tall, and he had a little bit of less hair, I would say. Very, very clean shaven around the sides. His beard is pretty much gone, and I didn't like it. It reminded me, if anybody's seen the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, the bald, like that's what it reminded me of. Like, he doesn't, I need him to grow his hair back. Yeah, that joke is so funny looking, I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah, very good dominating performance for Otis, just coming back after the last couple of weeks and just displaying his dominance. But yeah, very interesting stuff, but a very nice match, of course, for Chad Gable and Montez Ford. That is going to be it for this episode of Smackdown. All in all, I would say this is honestly a very passable show, I would say. Outside of the Roman Reigns and the Usos stuff, everything on this show was pretty substandard, I would say, but that definitely, this main event stuff kind of brought it up to that very high caliber. So I'm definitely looking forward to see how the feud between the Rey and the Usos and Roman just all kind of comes together within these next couple of weeks, going into Hell in a Cell, as well as SummerSlam coming up as well later on. But yeah, that is going to be it for this show. Definitely good stuff. You will see more videos later on. NXT TakeOver in your house is this weekend, and I will be heading it up. You already know. But that is going to be it from me. I'm out. Peace. Enjoy your weekend and everything like that. Have a lovely time, y'all. Lovely time. I'll see y'all soon.